Hey, what's up, Forever Green fam? It's Natasha Green coming to you from the comfort of my own home. I was just wanted to talk about a few things. I recently had found out that I was diagnosed with COVID, so and I just wanted to talk about how that is affecting my life and what I'm doing to cope with it. So, if you guys don't know, I'm a nurse. I work as a LVN, and so a lot of us healthcare workers and nurses are on the front line. We're making sure that patients are taken care of and people are getting tested, and different stuff like that. So I was already, working with patients who were getting tested or being screened for COVID. And I was having some symptoms like allergy symptoms. I would say like coughing, mild shortness of breath. My coughing was like productive cough, so I really thought it was just like my allergies and different stuff like that. So, but then I had got a symptom. It was no taste and no smell. And a few days before I got this symptom, they had found out that was like a new sign and symptoms of COVID. So what they, what my job did was got me tested, which was a good thing, to make sure that I didn't have COVID before I come back to work for patients. So, which is understandable. I was tested for the flu, and I was positive for the flu, and at first I was very confident that I didn't have COVID because a lot of patients who test positive for flu was not necessarily testing positive for COVID. So I never had a fever. I never felt like I had a severe shortness of breath or anything like that. I just felt like I had allergies. And the only symptom that I had that was not something that I'm used to having was no taste and no smell. But I thought that was for my allergies as well. So, yesterday, which was like maybe 4 or 5 days after I was tested, I was called and told that I was positive. So, coming from whenever I got tested for the flu, I was told to quarantine in my house, kind of separate from other people, and make sure if I did come by other people that to wear a mask, make sure I wash my hands frequently, and different stuff like that. Other people wash their hands frequently, and stay within 6 feet and different stuff like that. That's what I've been doing. I was told that I was positive for COVID, and I really feel good. So that's the way it's affected my family, is that I'm separated from them. So they're still in the same house as me, but I'm stuck in a room pretty much by myself 24 hours a day. My husband does come in and like make sure that I'm good, make sure that I at least eat and different stuff like that. I'm really doing well. Like, yes, I have a little bit of coughing. Sometimes I have a little bit of shortness of breath, but as far as like really feeling bad, I don't really feel bad. I didn't even think that I had the flu because I don't really feel that bad. I have been in my room, praying, worshiping God, doing some homework because I am in school to become RN. So that's kind of how, it's affecting because I have a 3-year-old son. I don't get to interact with him as often as what I normally interact with him. not really hugs and kisses and different stuff like that. Yeah, he comes in the room because he doesn't understand social distancing, so he'll run in here and be like, "Mama, pick me up," and I can't do that. Which really sucks. That's the worst thing about it. And like my husband comes in, I can't hug him and different stuff like that. So it's not ideal, but it's not what's the word that I'm trying to say? It's not the worst thing ever. Now, I want to say that this is my story. This does not mean that, oh, if you get the COVID, this may happen to you. I am not saying that. Because I recommend people stay in the house. I recommend social distancing. I recommend prayer. I recommend fasting at this time. I recommend seeking God's face, changing the mindset, repenting. I recommend all of that in this season because what we're going through is not something it's not a normal thing. This is something that has never happened, in my lifetime, probably even in my mother's lifetime. So this is new to everybody, even healthcare workers. Like every day, there's a different symptom. It changes, I'm literally like the opposite of, I had a productive cough. I didn't have dry cough. I didn't have severe shortness of breath. I just had mild shortness of breath. No fever, no chills, no anything, just so how I'm coping. I'm doing good. I'm blessed. People have called and checked on me, and even before I found out I was positive, people were calling and checking on me. Literally, it's brought my family really close. I don't think that I would be able to do this without my family like calling me, FaceTiming me, coming in here to check on me, praying for me, making sure that my son is good. And to be honest, I am so grateful. Like, I just can't even tell you enough how grateful I am. I'm so, so grateful, because it could have been completely different. So I give all the glory to God. I know that I went through this so that I could be able to help somebody else, encourage people that to social distance themselves from everybody. I know that it's hard, but you have to do whatever it is that you have to do. I don't necessarily see it, coming to an end very soon because we're still in the early stage, we don't even have as many people who have been tested positive for COVID in Smith County or, in Texas. So it's really new. So pray over your families, man, cherish your family members, wash your hands. That's really all you can do. I work in healthcare. I wash my hands. I wash my hands so much, like they was just becoming dry, and I literally, was like, oh, let me wash my hands. Oh, every time I turn around, I was like, let me wash my hands. Even whenever I was coming home from work, I made sure I took my clothes off at the door. So, my scrubs and my shoes, changed into a different clothes, took a bath. I did every necessary precaution that I could possibly do. And it's just that's just what happens when you work in healthcare, and it's not something regretful. It's really like, I was doing my job. I was helping other people or making sure other people was all right. And I just so happened to be in the line of fire. So this is just to encourage you, y'all, just stay prayed up. Like, it's not the end of the world. Nobody knows when God is coming back, so we don't know. But while we're in the world, we have to make the best of it. We have to make sure that we love on our families, make sure that we cherish every moment, make sure we don't spend our time doing things that's not pleasing to God. At this time, this is the best time to change, especially if you haven't been directly affected yet. This is, listen, before it hits your house, Lord forbid it hits anybody's house, I'm praying that we don't even reach the magnitude of what it could be here in Smith County. I'm praying that we don't even reach that magnitude because, I just believe, God, that we are, covered by Him and that we have people who are God's children who are changing their mindset. Sorry, y'all, I closed my eyes because I've been going to start praying. But I'm just grateful to God and to all of the healthcare workers. Y'all just don't give up helping other people. Lord, y'all see, he don't know what social distancing is. But movie, man. Right, sorry about that, y'all. I had to get him out the way. But what I was saying was healthcare providers. I mean, it's our time to shine. At this time, like, you just got to make sure that you take care, you continue to take care of people along with taking care of your family. I know that anxiety is just high right now. It's really scary to think that, you could bring this home with your family, especially if you have elderly people that live with you and different stuff like that. It's terrifying. But you literally have to, if it's not cut out for you, I wouldn't recommend that you, work close by COVID patients. But, at the end of the day, we have to do what we have to do, just like our grandfathers and our fathers went to war for our country. We gotta put in work. We gotta do what we have to do as well to protect the people in our country, in the United States, in our towns, in our states. We just have to do what we have to do. I'm grateful to you guys for working. If don't nobody else tell you that you appreciate it, you are appreciated. You are appreciated for sure. We appreciate you. You nurse, you doctor, you CNA, housekeeper, anybody who in the healthcare field, receptionist. We appreciate you guys and we love you guys. And hopefully when all of this is over, we can celebrate the lives that we've saved. If anybody has any questions about anything, please inbox me. I'll be happy to talk to you, pray for you, whatever. I also would like to say, if you feel like, you may be sick or different stuff like that, if you're having severe shortness of breath, I recommend you, go to the doctor. If you do not have those symptoms, it's best to isolate yourself in your house for 14 days. Make sure that, you are hydrating yourself. I was praying, y'all. I know this is going to be long, but I was praying and I was just in some And then I was exercising. I mean, y'all see these chubby cheeks. I was exercising, right? And like, it was like God was telling me, you know, move around. And, you know, healthcare people, you know, like when you feel like if a person has pneumonia, sometimes it's good to walk and do stuff like that. Break up some of that mucus or whatever. It was like I was already doing it, you know, even though I didn't feel like I was positive for COVID. I was moving around. It was helping me, you know, kind of with my breathing and whatnot. But that's just, seek God, man. Seek Him, because He'll give you some insight. Oh, y'all. And continue to follow another thing. If your church is having online services, make sure you attend your online services. Don't take this time out to be laxy-daisy. Make sure you tune in to your church services, because if you ain't heard a word, even if you don't have a place to go and listen to church services, I know Omega, we have Wednesday night online open to the public, and at 7:30, and on Sundays we have 10 a.m. service open to the public as well. But if you weren't, you know, if you didn't belong to a church home before, there's so many people. I mean, you can go to church right now from your home, you know. And just make sure that you are feeding your body and your mind and your soul with positive things, because if you're watching all of the negativity and you don't watch the positive stuff, it will literally bring you so much anxiety and fear. And let me tell you something. Fear will kill you. Fear will paralyze you. You will literally, you won't make it to another day if you're consumed with fear. It's hard. It's hard to do, but you have to make sure that, you know, even the things that you're watching, even your Netflix stuff, make sure that it's positive stuff. Make sure that when you do watch the news, you filter. So I'm watching the news. I didn't watch the news before, but I'm watching it now because of the time that we live in. Knowledge is power. If you're not trying to get knowledge, you've been in Paris. You won't know what's going on. Okay, so you still have to be able to watch the news, but some things you have to filter. You know, especially if you believe in God, you have to filter some things. You have to. Yes, you hear the number of deaths that are going on, but there's also people who are living. There's also people who are surviving. There's people who are living. I mean, living through this, going through that. I'm one of them. Hello. So just make sure that you filter that stuff out, and then you turn around and listen to some stuff like, oh, how many people survived in that country? You know, how many people survived? That's, you know, you want to know that, because at the end of the day, if it hit your house, you're going to have some positivity. You're going to have some positivity. And no, this is not saying, oh, this information will save, you know, you, but sometimes it will. Sometimes having, you know, faith, it pleases God. And it's impossible to please God without faith. So just know, hey, sometimes you just gotta faith it out. You gotta get up and move, get up and, you know, have positive talking and encourage other people who may be calling. People have been calling me, you know. And, you know, they've been calling me and checking on me. But, you know, you got to make sure you have positive words in your mouth. You know, even sometimes, because, I mean, I am in a room by myself 24/7. And so sometimes I do get a little down, but that's when I really have to just pray and be like, God, help me, because there's no way that I'm giving up. It's not an option. Even my teacher was telling me, you know, I could take it incomplete. I was like, huh? Ma'am, I love you. I love everybody. I can't give up my school and my children. I mean, I got a lot of kids, but Emmanuel, my youth, my family. There's so many people who I haven't even came in contact with to bless. So there's no way. So just know I'm praying for each and every one of y'all. If you know God, pray for me. Listen, if you know him, pray for me. If you don't know him, listen. Hold your prayer. No, I'm just joking. Just trying to make y'all laugh. But y'all have a blessed day. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like for Evergreen Family. My husband is going to make a separate video of how it's affecting his life and, how he's coping with it as well. But stay positive. Peace out.